count on.
None of this makes sense. There's just not one thing in this case that seems to make sense.
3 people stabbed, 2 fatally, by a college student on a rampage in Martin County.
It is a story that has now captured the attention of the nation. News Channel 5's Michael Williams joins us live outside the scene of the violent attack with more on the story tonight. Michael.
Suburban Martin County. I'm along Kokomo Lane. The very name speaks of an idyllic setting beneath the palm trees. And yet, last night, around 9:30, according to deputies, a teenager turned monster marched up the driveway of this home and into the garage, destroying 2 lives, John Stevens and his wife, Michelle Mishkan, and Austin Haroof. What about him, that 19-year-old? So many questions surrounding him. A 3rd person, a Good Samaritan, injured. We're looking at all aspects of this story, and we begin first with News Channel 5's John Shaman live at the Martin County Sheriff's Office. John?
Bob.
Michael, Sheriff William Snyder said his investigators have ruled out a lot of the street drugs from the suspect's system, things like marijuana, cocaine, heroin, or meth, but they have not ruled out more exotic drugs like flakka or bath salts. They do say that the suspect, 19-year-old Austin Haroof, did not have an elevated body temperature, which would suggest the presence of something like flakka, but again, it's something they're still looking into. Right now, the Sheriff's Office just trying to figure out why an FSU college student would do something so terrible to people he didn't know. Deputies got the urgent call to get to the Kokomo Lane home of John Stevens and Michelle Mishkan Monday night by a neighbor. That neighbor had been stabbed trying to stop a violent assault he witnessed on Stevens.
Unusual amount of trauma. We have some experienced detectives. One of my detectives on this case worked homicides in New York and said it was a case as bad as he's ever seen.
Sheriff William Snyder told reporters a taser and a police dog could not initially get 19-year-old Austin Haroof off of Stevens, who died at the scene.
The offender was actually biting the victim in the face and causing what turned out to be some substantial trauma to his face from bite marks.
Investigators found a switchblade likely used by Haroof in the garage along with Mishkan's body. But what they haven't uncovered is a motive for the crime.
From every indication, there is no connection between the victims and the suspect.
Haroof did not give any rational statements to deputies on the scene.
Once he got to the hospital, he was making animal-like sounds and was somewhat incoherent.
The sheriff said just before the incident, Haroof was at Duffy's on Indiantown Road in Jupiter. He became agitated for some reason and walked away. Haroof was in town with some of his Florida State fraternity brothers. After Haroof left the restaurant, his parents called police concerned about his welfare. And in fact, those fraternity brothers that were also in town with him went looking for him and came upon the crime scene. Unfortunately, Haroof had given authorities a fake name, so they didn't make a match at that point, and they told those fraternity brothers that no, the person you're looking for is not here at this scene right now. We'll have much more coming up at 5:30. We're live in Martin County. John Shaman, WPTV News Channel 5.
Back now at the crime scene, and breaking news. The 911 call released a short time ago made by the Good Samaritan who lived across the street, Jeff Fisher, who saw the horror unfolding before his eyes, rushed over to try to help and was himself wounded. Here's part of that 911 call.
911, do you need fire, police, or medical?
Police and medical.
Fire rescue, what's your address?
Young man beating up a woman across the street.
Okay, are they outside or in a house?
It's in a garage.
Okay, can you tell if he has any weapons?
I think he had a knife, but I'm not positive.
Okay, can you tell if she's injured or he's injured?
Say again?
Are either of them injured? Can you tell from where you are?
Yes, there's a girl laying on the ground. He beat her up. I ran over there. I'm bleeding profusely here at the moment.
Okay.
I don't know what happened.
All right, can you tell if she's conscious or is she unconscious?
Say again?
Can you tell if she's conscious?
No, it does not appear so, no.
Okay, and what kind of injuries do you have?
I've been stabbed in the back.
People in this neighborhood, understandably, as you and I can only begin to comprehend walking around today, and muted expressions. There's a shock here that is palpable right now. when you hear 911 calls like that, when you see the expressions of a neighborhood that, as I said at the outset, so idyllic until violence shattered this neighborhood in ways that they'll be dealing with for the rest of their lives.